Hi Yoga Tribe, welcome to our class today. We're going to focus on the hip flexors and the lower back. So we'll come into a flow that focuses on those areas. So come to a seated position with the legs crossed, bringing the hands towards the ankles, the lower part of the shin. And we'll just find some movement in the lower back to begin. So it can be small, so you can draw the belly forward on the inhalation and then back on the exhalation. Inhale forward on the inhalation, back on the exhalation. So just finding that movement. You might start slowly. You might even start to go a little bit quicker after a while, but we're focusing on that lower back area. Almost like a cat-cow, a seated cat-cow focused on the lower part of the back. And you might just take a few circles here as well, or instead, or just keep going with that forward and back movement, back the other way. And then from here, bring the legs forward as wide as the mat, back on the hands, and then bring the knees from side to side. So just getting through the hips, and also should feel that in the lower back. And then from here, bring the right foot in to the side of the body for a half hero's pose. And you can have this left leg straight or bent, or you might even just place it over the top of the thigh, and you can come down a little bit if that feels okay. And then making your way back up, and then we'll swap over sides, bending the left leg just to the side, and you can stay here or you can come down. You can bring the right foot to the knee if you want to go a little deeper. And then start to come back up. You can shake out the legs a little bit. Bring the right knee over the left, or as much as you can, and if you can, bring the feet a little wider. So lengthening through the spine here, keep the hips on the mat. So you can either stay here with a straight spine, or you can start to bring the fingers forward and creep them forward, and the head comes down towards the knee. Hands come back. And then swap over the other side. So left knee over the right, just much as you can. Lengthen through the spine. And either stay here, or again, you can creep those fingers forward. You might notice that feeling of tightness, more so on one side than the other. Normally we have one side that's a little tighter. And then coming back up, bring the soles of the feet together. Knees wide, so if you want to go deeper, you'll move the feet a little closer to the body, or you can move them away. Hands on the feet, spine straight, and just flapping the butterfly wings. Just finding some movement here. And then creeping the hands forwards, just as far as you feel comfortable. So it might be quite high up, or you might Start to fold down with the head towards or on the floor. And then from here, we'll make our way back up. So taking a child's pose, you can have the knees together, hands by the sides, forehead to the mat. Take a breath in and exhale. Then from here, you can come to your tabletop pose and we'll make our way to our downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back to our downward facing dog and pedaling the feet here, just enjoying that stretch through the back body, making sure the hips, the hip bones, not the hip bones, but the bottom is, or the tailbone's facing up, pointing towards the sky. And the knees are as bent as they need to be so that it brings you into a straight spine. Keep pressing into the fingertips and the knuckles. Gaze to the front of the mat and step towards the front of the mat. We'll make our way to our forward fold. Now here, you can widen the feet if you like. Hinging at the hips, again, bend those knees as much as you need to. Grab the elbows and rock from side to side. Just make sure you shake the head no, nod the head yes. We want the head to be nice and heavy. No tension in the neck. And then finding stillness. Bring the hands to the mat or the shins. Bring the feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. One more here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, place the hands down. Bring the feet back to a downward facing dog. And then inhale, lifting the right leg here. Exhale, bring it through in between the hands, coming up into a high lunge. So you can widen the stance if you need to for some balance. If you find that you're wobbly. Bending through the front knee, keep pressing into the front foot and back through the ball of the back foot. Now, you can bend the knee here if you need to. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe sink down a little bit more. Take another breath. And then bring the hands to the hips. Bring the right hip back and start to straighten through the front leg. Chest starts to come down for our pyramid pose. And then back to our high lunge. Hands up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the hips. Straighten through the front leg. Pyramid pose. Inhale. Hands come up. And we'll just do that one more time. To our pyramid pose on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, hands come up. Pivot the back foot, opening up towards the left side. You might just want to check the front heel is aligned with the back arch. Front heel of the foot is aligned with the back arch. Shoulders over the hips. Take a breath in and exhale. Make sure you can see that big toe and that the knee's not coming inwards. It's pointing forwards. Flip the front palm. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Bring the left foot forward. Forward fold. Two more breaths here. Next inhalation, start to bring the hands up. And then hands to heart center, to the center of the chest. We'll come to our tree pose. So plant or ground down through the left foot, lifting up the right foot anywhere along the leg. Just make sure you avoid the knee if there's any knee issues. So you can have the toes on the floor, you can have the foot above the knee, that right knee is pointing out towards the side. Take a breath in here and exhale. One more breath. And then from here, release the foot so the feet are as wide as the mat, coming into your malasana pose. Now, if you've got a block or a bolster, you can place that down so you sit on that. Hands to heart center, pressing the knees in towards the elbows and the elbows in towards the knees. You might just find a little movement here to begin. And then find some stillness. So think about, rather than hunching over, straightening through the spine, shoulders back, the tailbone is coming down towards the mat. And yes, it can be a very challenging pose. So if you need to, you can just come a little higher. Now from here, bring the right hand to the outer side of the right foot and then start to open up through the left arm, coming into a twist. Take 2 breaths here. And other side, left hand down, open up. And then from here, bring the hands to the mat. And we can start to bring the hips back up into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come back to our downward facing dog. And this time lifting the left leg up, bring it through in between the hands, coming into our high lunge. Ooh. High lunge, so widen the stance if you need to. If you're finding it a little bit wobbly, sometimes we have those days, that's okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe sink down a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sink down. Bring the hands to the hips. Start to straighten that front leg. Hinging at the hips, chest comes forward. We don't have to come all the way down. Inhale, bend through the knee, back to our lunge. And exhale, hands to hips, left hip comes back, straightening through that front leg. Inhale. Exhale. Coming into our pyramid pose. Inhale, back to lunge, pivot the back foot, turn towards the right, and then just align that front heel with the arch of the back foot. And taking 2 more breaths here. Keep pressing down into both feet. Nice strong grounding posture. Flip the front palm here. Inhale, reach it up and back for reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Bring that right foot forward, forward fold. And inhale, start to sweep the hands up, preparing for our tree pose on the other side, grounding down through the right foot, lifting up the left foot so that the knee is pointing towards the side. So really pressing down through that big toe of the standing foot, that will help you to balance. You might find a spot that's not moving, your drishti, Taking another breath here. And then start to release the foot. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, coming into our Malasana pose again. So remember, you don't have to come all the way down. You can just have the hands on the thighs instead, or if you do want to join us, that's probably a little bit wide, in Malasana. You can also roll up a blanket and place that underneath the heels if the heels are up. Hands to heart center. The elbows are pressing against the knees. Drawing that tailbone down towards the mat. Coming into our twist, the right hand comes outside the right foot. Inhale, lifting the left hand. And then we'll come to the other side. Left hand comes outside of the left foot, lifting the right hand. And then placing that hand down. And we can start to lift the hips and bring the feet about hip distance apart. Hugging the shoulders, or not hugging the shoulders, but reaching for the elbows. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to the shins or the mat. Exhale, forward fold. From here, press into the hands and then coming back to a downward facing dog. Now from here, lifting the right foot up and then placing it on the outside of the right hand. Bring that left knee down. If you need to bring a pillow or a blanket underneath the left knee, you can. Coming into our lizard pose. So just keep the knee towards the body, just initially. Taking a few breaths here. With every exhalation, feel perhaps that hip flexors release. And you might come a little lower if that feels good for you, maybe on the forearms or on a bolster. I'm going to stay on my hands. And then from here, place the left hand onto the mat, turning and twisting. You might gently place the right hand on the right knee. So lengthen through the spine on the inhalation, turn and twist. And then from here we'll come back to center. Heel toe the right foot over to the left side. Now, if you've got that leg parallel, that shin parallel to the mat, it's going to be quite strong. You can bring that foot in a little closer to the body and you can stay high on the mat, or you can come down to the elbows, or you might bring the head all the way down. And then from here, you can start to come back up, coming up onto the hands, tuck the back toe, coming back into either a tabletop or a downward facing dog. You might pedal the feet out a little bit. And then lifting the left leg, bringing it on the outside of the left hand. For our lizard pose on the other side. So you can have something underneath the knee if you need that padding, or you can just lift the knee up. That's another option as well. It's a little bit stronger, that one. You can come down to the forearms or stay on the hands. You might even have pillows or a bolster there that you can use. And then pressing the right hand onto the mat, and the left hand comes to the left knee and lengthen through the spine, before we turn and twist. So inhale as we lengthen, exhale as we twist. And then from here, heel toe the foot over to the right side. You might have the shin parallel to the mat, you might have the foot closer to the body or anywhere in between. You don't have to make the same shape that you made on the other side. Just taking a few breaths here. And then you can come up on the hands. Bring that, come onto the left hip. Bring that right leg forward. Just shake it out a little bit. And then you can start to come to your back. So from here, we'll take a happy baby, or you might even just have the soles of the feet together, or you might even take a half happy baby. So bring the knees wide, and from here, bring the ankles over the knees and reaching either onto the hands or on anywhere along the legs, drawing those knees down, keep the shoulders on the mat, the tailbone draws down towards the mat, and you can just rock from side to side if that feels good for you. And then finding that stillness. So just pressing that lower back and tailbone into the mat. Taking a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, you can find your Shavasana. It does feel quite nice for the lower back if you have the knees bent, so you might have a bolster or a pillow that you can place them on over, or just lengthen through the legs, hands by the sides. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you need to. And I'll see you next time.